Ricocheted off of G right to Ike Davis his last time up. And that catches Tulowitzki.
Right on the elbow, too.
Yeah, that didn't sound. That didn't sound good. Troy doesn't wear that padding on the elbow. Dyer will come up with the bases loaded.
Fastball that's riding on the inner half of the plate. Troy trying to curl and get out of the way of this thing, and it caught him flush right on the back of the elbow. Dan Worthing, the pitching coach, out to check on his pitcher. His trainer, Keith Duggar. Walt Weiss out to check on their shortstop.
This cold weather, that thing is going to get stiff.
Yeah, it's all on the non-throwing too. I mean, Keith's making sure that he's got strength in that hand and that arm. He can turn it and rotate it.
Well, this is the first time we've seen something like this since Alex Rodriguez returned, and I think we can say with some certainty what the intent was after Dempster hit him on the 3-0 pitch. Joe Girardi livid. Ryan Dempster did not get tossed out of the game. Warnings were issued to both sides by Brian O'Nora. So Girardi's gone. A-Rod down at first base. Dempster stays. What'd you think, guys?
As intentional as it gets.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is the deal. The first pitch is behind him. Okay, I'm sending a message. I don't like what you stand for. And then he throws two more inside, and then the 3-0 pitch, he throws one, you know, not up at his head, hit him in the elbow guard and then in the ribs. But you know, to me, it's ridiculous. You had your chance the first pitch to send a message. Don't send it on the fourth one. You know, and look, I know they warned both teams. But if I'm CC Sabathia, I'm sending a message back because I'm not a fan of what just happened right there by Ryan Dempster.
Even though he'll get tossed. CC will get tossed.
Well, I think there's going to be a time.
Yeah.
There'll be a time.
He would probably like to start. He's more.
Sounded like it got him in the helmet. Gary Cederstrom is the crew chief. He rushed in from his first base position, and he's having a discussion now with Kirk Gibson.
Boy, always a scary moment anytime a pitch is thrown up above the shoulders.
And with anything that's close to the head in, you just don't even speculate because you don't know oftentimes until several days later. And you're just thankful to see Didi Gregorius get up and walk away. Here's another look.
There's no such thing as a good pitch to the helmet, but fortunately it looked like it deflected up and back. It wasn't hit squarely on the right side of that helmet, the kind that drops straight down, but he really took a hard shot to the head right there.
In the game, the pinch run for Didi Gregorius, number 4, Cliff Pennington.
Cliff Pennington will come in and run at first base for Didi Gregorius, who will go and get checked out by the medical staff here at Chase Field.
Ooh, that got him right in the head. The helmet came off. He's still standing. Derek is angry.
Yeah, Derek's not happy. You usually don't see this from him.
He said, you don't do that.
Anytime the ball ends up around your face, your head, hits your helmet. Obviously a scary situation, and everything from Kluber had been moving away from the righties. This fastball gets away from him, hits the brim of the hat, the helmet.
He does not want Steve Donahue out there. He waved him off angrily.
Well, this is where you get competitive. You know, anytime a fastball ends up at your head, you start thinking about the possibility of a serious injury. No matter if it's a young pitcher or a veteran pitcher, because you don't like to see the mistakes end up and in this high, close to the helmet.
Jeter was pretty hot. Yelled out at Kluber and Santana as if, you don't come in up there.
This is the big leagues for a reason. You miss with your pitches.
When it's hot in August.
The 2-2. He's been hit once before. This time he's hit on the wrist, and you don't like to see that. He was hit on the right bicep. In Detroit, missed a couple of games, and he looks like he's in a lot of pain again on a cold night. So from the right bicep to the right wrist this time. Let's see where it got him, Paul.
On the back, and it wasn't on the hand. Sometimes it gets you on the padding of your hand, which is a good thing. That looks like it hit bone, and that's again, like we said, that's not good.
And Worth is plunked on a 3-0 pitch, and that causes some hard feelings.
Boy, that was obvious for you folks at home. And you hear me all the time say, that wasn't intentional. Well, this one was intentional.
Well, why would Frank Francisco be throwing at Jason Worth?
Because he's a fool. That's why. Can't say it any more than that. That's the silliest thing I've ever seen. Base open, behind in the count, nails him in the back. You know what that does? Gets one of your players hit in the next inning. Should put him up the bat next inning.
The 0-1. Jeter gets plunked.
You see this ball just tail. That ball was actually supposed to be outside.
Well, Derek in his career has got hit a lot, but this is a scenario, and I know Josh Beckett hits people, not saying it's on purpose, but the idea of throwing it side.
And Alex gets plunked.
I was just going to say, you threw him all the way the first time. You know he's going in here. Josh Beckett does not have control of that ball right now on the inside part of that where he's trying to run it into righties. But I mean, sooner or later, I mean, you just keep putting a check on the chalkboard on how many of you guys are getting hit. It's just You know, it puts the Yankee pitchers in a tough situation. I mean, it's a 2-0 game, but again, this ball is just running up and in.
Hit his hip. I think it peeled his belt buckle off. Look at that.
Yeah. Doink.
David gets hit, and it's now. We don't have to wait anymore, and warnings are passed out. So there you have it. It's a matter of time, and it's happened. In 161 career games against the Yankees, it's the first time Big Papi has been hit.
Well, you knew it was coming sooner or later, and here it is. 4 guys hit for the Yankees. Ortiz flipping the bat the other night, and then finally gets one to CC Sabathia's credit. He didn't throw at his head. Ortiz takes it off the side of the leg and makes his way down to first base.
Jeter hit leading off the first, and then Granderson hit a 3-1 pitch into the seats and right, and he gets plunked on the foot, and he'll take first. And that's what Al meant before. That's not an automatic ejection, because that's obviously not on purpose.
Curveball down and in. Hunter Wendelstedt, home plate umpire, hitting the back foot of Granderson.
One place as a hitter that, you know, and we saw that first night with Teixeira. Once that weight gets back on the backside, you cannot get that back.
Need to make that play on the throw, make sure it doesn't get by him.
Gomes with a swing and a miss. It gets by everything, and the runners move up. And coming around now to the plate, trying to score is Reynolds. The throw, no, what are they going to say here? This ain't a foul ball, I think. Farrell's coming out to argue. I think it may have hit Gomes, too. There's a lot of things that could be in play here, Jerry.
Yeah, we're going to have a little meeting, I think, between the umpires, and
we're sending people back.
And now out comes Renicky from the other side.
I think he swung and missed, and it may have hit him. It did.
Yeah, it did. He hit the back of his foot.
Well, swing and a miss, but hit by the pitch, and because he's swinging, it is a strike.
You don't see that very often,
no,
do you?
Don't. So Renicky back to the game.
I think that got him in the helmet, and he's thrown out of the game. He throws Gonzalez out of the game.
Wow! They don't have any other pitchers. Gonzalez has to know that.
Well, why would Gonzalez throw at the guy in that spot?
Yeah, exactly. And the umpire immediately throws him out of the game.
Let's see if Dickerson's okay. And Dickerson gets to his knees. Looks like he has a welt there.
Yeah.
The helmet might have come down. Now the Yankees are also in a situation, care mostly about Dickerson's well-being, but they don't have anybody on the bench. They don't have anybody to play right field.
Here's a look at the pitch from Gonzalez. You can see Dickerson ducked to get out of the way. It looked like it hit the bill of his helmet, and then it came down and maybe gave him that welt. He's going to stay in the game, head to first base. Gene Monahan's going to walk him down there to make sure he's okay. There he is trying to duck out of the way, and the ball hitting the bill of his helmet. Well, Guthrie's still warming up the bullpen. Remember, Guthrie is a starting pitcher. It usually takes starting pitchers longer to warm up. The helmet is cracked. Looks like Joe Girardi is going to take Dickerson out of the game.
I think that's a smart move.
I do too.
I mean, you get hit like that, you get a welt raised like that on your face, and the helmet cracks. It doesn't make sense to keep him in there.
And Guthrie's going to come in and pitch. How about that?
Now, Well, they're going to warm up Jeter with Andrew Jones. Andrew Jones is out of the game, so Jeter's getting ready because he's going to play short. And then the shortstop Nunez will go out and play right field. The only question is who's going to be your pinch runner. And if you, the thing why they wouldn't want to use Posada here, if you pinch run for him, he's out of the game after that. You lose your DH, so you're just using Posada to pinch run. And Joe's probably thinking, what pitcher am I going to take my chance with here? He doesn't want to get a pitcher hurt either. But Jabba and Robertson are not pitching tonight. That would be one of those two, I guess, to use.
You have to go with whoever he feels is a good enough athlete to run the bases for.
Right. So it looks like it's going to be A.J. Burnett.
And Joe is telling him, look, no sliding, station to station. I don't want you, trying to be a hero scoring all the way from first base. Wow. What a turn of events. To find out the last time that Burnett actually ran the base, it had to be an interleague play.
Interleague play, and remember he pitched in the National League for a while with the Marlins, so hit there. A.J. Burnett, pinch runner. Those are the kind of graphics you see in the 15th inning.
Here's a 1-2 pitch to Garcia. And it hit him. It hit him. And that's how the game comes to a close. Hit by pitch, Garcia, and the Cardinals win it 4-3.
Third time he's been hit by a pitch. The few bats he's got up here, and now he's gotten his first shower. And it looks like the Ripper, what was that a couple years ago? Punto. The Shredder's back. It's all worth it now, isn't it, Dan? Cardinals win this one in 12 innings, 4-3. Tough fought ball game, and the Cardinals persevere.
It just caught him. And again, Garcia hit by a pitch, and that's how the Cardinals win it. Hit by pitch, walk-off win as they take game 2. What a way to do it.
As their starter, and Bud Norris, as good as he wasn't quite as good as Rick Porcello.
And Hunter takes it and didn't like it.
Well, I don't blame him.
Comes after the home run, and he's got something to say to Norris, and Norris points at the plate. The dugout's empty. That is the 5th hit batter by Norris this year. It's not as though it's the first time. Bullpen's coming in.
Oh, everybody runs on the field. And, whether he meant it or not, I mean, Torrey Hunter, about as nice a guy as you can have, and he doesn't like to get plunked. And of course, Bud, the reason Dave Wallace, the Oriole pitching coach, went out after the home run is just to try to calm him down. And one of the worst things that can happen, you pitch a good game, you're trailing by a run, you give up a home run. Emotionally, it's very easy to lose it, and then all of a sudden you're trying to stay out of that same zone because Hunter can do the kind of damage, and you end up hitting him, and it looks bad. Any way you look at it, he didn't try to do it. It's just it happens after a home run. It's pretty kind of normal. Whether it's 2014 or back in 1950, you drill a guy after a guy takes you deep. A lot of times they think
there's an assumption there, isn't there?
Exactly.
So Norris talking to the crew chief Bob Davidson, and still very upset. Buck Showalter's talking with a home plate umpire.
Well, they're going to warn both teams.
That's Davidson on the mound, the crew chief walking away. And Norris is coming out of the ball game anyway.
Yeah, but not only by hitting Hunter, you get Cabrera to the plate. So he probably didn't mean to do it on purpose, but it looks bad. And again, pitch count up there around 110. You have to make a change.
And he's still hollering at him, and Hunter's coming over. Hunter's coming over towards him. As he went into the dugout, words were exchanged, and Hunter started over towards the Orioles dugout.
Well, they just ought to get Bud Norris down into the locker room because, I was talking to one of his former general managers, and
You know, I mean, it's an emotional time. You pitch well, but you know you're probably not going to win this game. And it's easy to sometimes lose your emotions. And of course, Hunter's not happy because he got drilled. And he just let it go.
Only now 28 years old. Time called late, and Lester hits Headley with a pitch. Very late, and John lets it fly.
That was a very late call by Eddings, the home plate umpire, and I don't think I've ever seen that where time has been called and then the hitter has been hit by a pitch.
Remember, of course, when Josh Beckett threw one over Abreu's head in Anaheim, but this one actually makes contact.
And you could see Headley also, you know, asking for time and was permitted time by Eddings. Very strange.
One and one to Craig. Watch out. Hit him in the back of the head, and the helmet went flying. Oh my.
Tim Hudson is the first one to jump off the mound and just feels terrible. You know, it was totally innocent, but doesn't help Alan Craig out any.
Hudson does appear to be a little shaken, walking around, wanting to make sure that everybody knows that was not on purpose, and of course more concerned about the health right now of Alan Craig. The helmet went flying, hit him in the back of the head, and you always want to make sure you check the neck and worried about headaches from there and concussions and all the like, and Chris Conroy and Mike Matheny making sure that they're convinced that Alan Craig is okay.
Well, and Mike Matheny knows all about concussions. They'll walk with him. Just looks like he's going to stay in the game, but they're going to walk with him down there. And I think Dave Righetti also saw the reaction of Tim Hudson, and he's gone out to talk to him. Is like, hey, Timmy, you know, I know it was intentional, but don't let this game get away. See, the arm just kind of lets it fly free, and there he gets in the back of the helmet. And see him running a little bit just to make sure he's got all his faculties. Then it brings up Tavares with the bases loaded. So watch Hudson. Watch Hudson. He comes off, and you can tell he's really shaken up.
Craig appears to be okay. He's the runner at first base, and Cardinal fans very thankful for that.
To begin the at bat, they may change it up. Look out, and Ortiz gets hit in the back. And they are going to send out warnings to both sides. Interesting with a fastball there.
Well, you know, it's interesting because the umpires are right on top of things. You know, they immediately, because of the history, put warnings to both sides. And do I think that was intentional? No, I don't.
Really? I thought Gomes may get it, but I'm not surprised that Ortiz does as he heads down to first. And John Farrell not happy at all. Now his pitcher has been warned, and Farrell may have already been ejected. I would guess, based on all that he is saying now, that he was. So John Farrell apparently done for the night. Jeff Kellogg, the crew chief, coming over to get him.
I guess the question I have, is you've gone through 3 batters. You got 2 quick outs with a strikeout. If you were going to try to get somebody, why wouldn't you get the 3rd guy? Why would you wait for Ortiz, lefty against lefty?
Only because he is viewed as the star.
Okay.
You're a big star of the team. That's the only thing I'm thinking.
I can buy that. But
he's the guy. If there's one guy that's going to beat you over the years, it's this guy.
But he had no involvement in what was going on down in Tampa Bay.
But sometimes you get hit because of stuff other guys do.
Exactly.
Guy that relied on his control as Castro is hit by a pitch. And Roberto Hernandez has just been thrown out of this ball game. Starlin Castro had a 2-run home run his last time up, and Roberto Hernandez without warning. And the umpires do have the right to do this without warning. Throws Hernandez out of this ball game. Wow. Ryan Sandberg is saying there's no way he's throwing at him there. So there's no way he's throwing at him there. Gary Cedarstrom tells Chase Utley to back off. Yeah, part of me, and I know that from time to time you'll see a pitcher throw at a hitter after that hitter hits a home run, if he Cadillacs it at all, or if he poses. And Sandberg's now been ejected from this game. But without warning, he throws him out of the ball game. Normally you'll see a warning on both sides.
Yeah, I've never seen anything like that before in my life.
I think that's jumping the gun, honestly. I mean, I know they have to protect the game itself, protect the players, but if you're the home plate umpire, Mark Rippinger, I think you have to throw a warning out there.
2-0 game, well-pitched game on both sides.
I mean, this ball zipped right in. Ruiz is set up outside. Roberto can't believe it. Oh. And then Ryan Sandberg, he's thrown himself out. And now he's warning both benches.
That's horrible.
Yeah, I can't imagine. Well, I can't imagine an umpire not warning a pitcher before throwing.
And that hits Gentry in the helmet. Oh boy. A look of concern all around the ballpark at this point. Gentry is up.
Wanted it down, just the ugly sound.
That's right above the visor, right next to the A's logo. Well, that's a pretty direct hit, huh? Yeah. And Gentry's going to stay in the game. How about that? So he trots to first.
Well, the new rule basically and guidelines for the concussion symptoms 7-day disabled list, and that's one of the biggest concerns. And Nick Pepperista and skipper Bob Melvin rushed out. They wanted him to stay down and not immediately get up, which the player's inclined to do that. And thank God Gentry seems to be okay.
The leadoff batter aboard in the last inning, but didn't score. Oh man, it hit him right in the back of the helmet. Carlos has been hit by a pitch 9 times this year. Sean Ficasny trotting up the first base line with them. Ryan Sandberg came out as well, and looks like Ruiz is okay.
Curveball that doesn't curve, it just spins and
just turned his head at the last moment.
It's hit him like in the ear.
Yeah.
Just right there is when he turned. Oh.
Right on the ear flap. Take a listen. So he's at first. Dominic Brown is the batter.
Sliding head first.
His was defensive. There's an off-speed pitch that hits Wong, and he's down.
And then the carom hits our catcher. Russell Martin got it on the thigh, and looks like Colton got it on the top of the foot. Watch this breaking ball, spinning, gets him on the top toe, and then gets him inside the thigh on Russell Martin.
Tripled, tied the game. Oh, and he's hit on the helmet. Hit on the helmet. The game is tied. And now concerned about Marte.
Oh my goodness.
Starling Marte hit on the helmet. It is a 2-2 game. Ben Potenziano, the assistant trainer, sprinted out of the dugout. 93-mile-per-hour fastball. And there's Ottavino's reaction.
An 0-2 fastball. Marte right up on top of the plate, and just simply no time to get out of the way of that one. Sitting up.
Oh.
That's a direct hit there.
This is what it sounded like. Now we're going through all the concussion tests that you can verbally for the training staff. Asking him all the questions, looking into his eyes.
And thank goodness for a strong helmet.
Stays in the ball game.
That was so scary.
Starling Marte tripled in the tying run in the fifth to make it 1-1 here. He's hit by a pitch on the batting helmet that ties the game at 2. Ottavino reacted. Ben Potenziano followed Marte down to the first base bag and continued talking to him to make absolutely certain that he is okay and able to stay in the ball game. You always wonder, of course, how it affects the batter, but how does it affect a pitcher?
It has an effect. I mean, when you hit batters all the time, and it happens hard, but when you hit somebody directly in the head, I mean that.
Down and got a slider singled into left. 1-1 delivery. Oh, right on the helmet. Oh my.
Well, again, when you talked about how wild he is. He's a leg swinger, obviously very successful. And Buck Showalter's going to come out here, and because anytime you get hit in the helmet, even if it's the back of the helmet, that's a good thing. If you're going to get hit in the head, you want to. And Richie Van Zel's the Oriole trainer out there saying, hey, because there are certain concussive things you go through. So again, it looked like a splitter, but you can hear the sound.
Well, we told you Smythe just hit 2 batters in this game. That's 9 on the year. And you saw Hardy head out of the batter's box quickly. Good sign. And he will stay in. And here's Manny Machado.
We'll see the light and come back to real baseball.
Well, it's absolutely, that's not going to happen.
Oh, Tejada hit in the helmet.
Oh, no.
Didn't have any chance. The ball just traced her, and it hit him flush on the forehead of that cap.
Well, he's able to walk off under his own power, but the Mets will obviously take no chances, and he'll come out of the game, and Eric Campbell will come in to run for him. So
Wow. Right in the middle of the leg, and Harper is very unhappy. Here they come from the dugouts. They're coming from the bullpens. I mean, that ball was so far inside. Bryce Harper, no chance to get out of the way. And if that wasn't intentional, that's the miss of the year by a pretty good pitcher. Evidently, Jason Hurwit's neck's feeling a little better.
He's got the stim machine that's still attached to him. Well, I'll tell you what, last night, off Tyler Clippard, Justin Upton absolutely watched his home run. It took him forever to get around the bases. Nothing was done about it. Bryce Harper goes deep here tonight, his second at-bat in the third, and gets drilled on the first pitch. That was on purpose.
Guys don't miss with a fastball like that at this level.
Not a guy that's been hitting his spots all night, I'll tell you that.
Joe West, I believe, is issuing warnings to the dugouts right now.
So here's Bryce Harper's home run swing last time up. Couple of steps, flipped his bat. And then here's the next pitch he sees, the following at bat.
As Aoki goes down. And of course, we're talking about the Purple Heart when he gets drilled. Yesterday was National Purple Heart Day, and the Royals became one of the first American League teams to become an official supporter.
This is the 5th time Aoki's been hit this year, and like Bumgarner got him pretty good. Now he is smiling, he's laughing with his teammates a little bit, but okay. I mean, he left his feet. Let's hear him. Sometimes hitters, they start screaming before it even hits them because they know it's coming. Sometimes it helps with the pain even before it comes. You see it, you can't get out of the way.
So we had a member of the Screaming Eagles in the Buck O'Neil legacy seat and a Screaming Eagle at the plate.
That's right.
At least
we heard
that's what I would imagine what a Screaming Eagle would sound like.
Yep, doesn't feel very good when you get hit right there.
Now, what does a Screaming Eagle sound like? Right? I mean,
look out. That hit Melky hard inside. Certainly got a lot of meat. I think I might have caught him on the elbow. Mike Frostad trying to corral Cabrera.
Boy, I think it got his elbow, the funny bone, and that whole arm goes numb.
can see he's in a lot of pain. They hit him right on the point of that elbow, and takes a while for the feeling to come back.
Wow, look at that right there. That knot.
Oh yeah, that gives you an idea just how hard that baseball hits these guys. Melky Cabrera was hit by a pitch in the first inning. Nolan Rimo making his way to the plate. He will bat for Cabrera, and this is the pitch that hit him on that right elbow.
He went down also. Stayed in the ball game and ran at first base, but then came out as DHing tonight. Right, get that thing x-rayed. Might have skipped
done on the cushion as that fan went tumbling over.
Look out. Whoa. In the helmet, Bogarts is hit. Xander back up onto his feet now.
Well, never good to get hit. It was an off-speed pitch by Felix Hernandez that time, the changeup or the splitter that got away from him, and Bogarts now trying to find his bearings. Right off the ear flap.
Well, Xander's going to stay in the game here and head down to first base. He'll follow him down. Hernandez saying his bat on the way by. And Xander Bogarts kind of made a motion out to him. Bogarts' reaction as he looked over at him. We're good.
Oh my gosh. That ball hit Stanton right up in the face area. It looked like his hands covering his face. He turned into that ball and it caught him right, it looked like up under the helmet, and the Marlins quickly out there.
The pitch was 88 miles an hour. It was not a breaking ball.
Oof.
Oh, wow.
Goodness. Right, and looked like the cheek underneath the left eye. Stanton still down. Rick Kranitz, the pitching coach of the Brewers, is out. Trying to keep Fires calm. There's his father and his aunt. If you're just joining us, Giancarlo Stanton on a pitch that was up and in, struck in the face, and has been down for the last 3 to 4 minutes.
Right on that left side. The look on everyone's face tells the story.
His father watching. The stretcher is out. Stanton has been down and obviously in moving his legs in considerable pain. Mike Redmond talking to his father and his aunt. Looks like it. I believe the team physician for the Brewers was the gentleman who came in with the leather coat. Stanton still on his side. And no doubt he'll be transported and taken to a facility. And
when did that get him? Yes, it did, as they tried to come up and in. So Derek Jeter is hit by a pitch.
Rob Drake is warning both sides.
That's ridiculous.
I don't understand that at all. Now Joe Girardi's going to come out and have an issue, as Joe Madden will as well.
And now Joe Girardi is pointing at Jelks. Now that's got to be frustration. Why would Jelks be hitting Derek Jeter there?
Joe clearly is frustrated from that, not getting a second look at that call on the tag up. But in no way did I think that he was throwing at Derek Jeter there. Hannigan setting up away.
You know, unless there's a history, why would home plate umpire Rob Drake immediately call warnings? I mean, I agree with you. To me, unless there's something that I don't know about here, I can't imagine a 6-1 game that he'd want to hit Derek Jeter. No.
Well, now Joe Madden is going to take Jelks out of the game. And we'll call on a left-hander to face Brett Gardner. Frustration boiling over here. The call that they would not review. It could be that Joe Girardi actually protested the game to the umpires as well. In the previous inning, we have not had an official announcement yet. I don't know what that's going to do. And we'll step aside as tempers are flaring here in St. Pete. Stay tuned.
Well, after the little fracas.
There we go.
There we go. So that's it. David Phelps is now going to be thrown out. And dugouts emptying. The guys in the bullpen jogging in. And David Phelps and some of the Yankees are walking right toward the Tampa Bay players that are coming out.
Sean Rodriguez fired up.
Well, you could smell that coming. The frustration boiling over. Both sides warned.
You know, I just asked Al in between innings too, if a pitcher feels a responsibility that he's got to take care of this on his own.
Right.
When Jeter gets hit, and you just don't know what each individual pitcher is thinking when they go out there. Obviously Phelps had something on his mind.
Why is Sean Rodriguez so fired up? Well, one thing you have to like from Phelps, he got thrown out of the game and didn't walk the other way. He walked right toward the Rays that were coming out of the dugout. Tony Pena, now the acting manager, as Joe Girardi is up the runway after being tossed. And now Tony Pena has to be thrown out too. When both benches are worn, the pitcher has to get thrown out and the manager or the acting manager has to get thrown out.
Well, there's a man who got hit in the chin by a lefty who throws about 98. So obviously he's got some opinions on the subject.
You know, whether, look, emotions play into this. Obviously, you get hit. I mean, we showed Chase Headley got hit in the chin. I mean, you talk. There's an aspect to the frustration, and we saw it with Girardi, pointing five times you got it. So you also have a pitching staff, even if it's not intentional. I didn't hit him. You have to have the ability to also, as a guy who can throw strikes or have an idea where he's throwing the ball, to not get your guys hit. And I've been on staffs where guys get, you know, wild and they just can't control the ball. They end up hitting guys. Not because it's on purpose. They just got bad command.
Well, as David Huff warms up, he'll have plenty of time. We'll take a break. We'll come right back.
Oh, up and into Craig, and he's hit by the pitch. And Sanchez has been thrown out. Immediately ejected from the game. Here comes Clint Hurdle. And he is going to make sure and get his piece. Up and in to Alan Craig, who glared right back at Sanchez. And you have to wonder how long Clint Hurdle stays in this game.
You know, this is one of the first times I've ever seen this, and this is why I always say when they warn people, it's really, you know, kind of a farce. And now Clint's been thrown out of the ball game also. But if you think a pitcher is intentionally thrown at somebody, you can throw him out without a warning. I know Clint's going out there and said, look, this kid has struggled. He's trying to find his command. He's not trying to hit anybody, but he's trying to keep it out of the sweet part of the bat. And I think that probably is realistic.
Right around 300, 304. And Marte is hit by a pitch.
That's scary. It's in the
He
hand.
is frustrated. He thinks
that's never good.
That is not good. I'm sure he thinks there's something wrong. And the Pirates cannot afford to have anything wrong with Starling Marte right now.
And you immediately think when you got hit in the hands, a lot of bones, fingers, wrist area, and you get hit with a heavy fastball like that in the hand. You always worry that something might be broken.
And he's hit again. Lance Lynn has hit him again. And now some barking from the Pirates dugout, and Tim Timmons, who's already given the hook to two Pirates tonight, is getting close to maybe doing it again. And this time bench coach Jeff Bannister is in his sights, and he's thrown him out. And Banny had his back to him. Banny was walking away. He wasn't even looking at him. Well, Robbie, you're right down there. You're pretty close to Jay Bell, and you're in between the argument.
Yeah, Jay Bell is about 3.5, 4 feet from me right now, yelling at Tim Timmons. And the argument, Jay was saying, hey, why didn't he get tossed? Tim Timmons held out his fingers to just a couple inches apart and said he moved that much. He moved that much, meaning that Starling Marte didn't move or put enough of an effort to get out of the way of that hit by pitch. A couple more words, all of a sudden Timmons turned around and threw him from the game pretty quickly, Tim.
Upstairs to Craig. Remember, he was the one that was hit back in the first.
That was just a sign of a tired arm right there. Breaking ball and just got away from him.
Oh, up and in, and on his back, Lance Lynn.
That ball kind of had a run on it going up and in, but that was one that he's thinking about right now.
And Sanchez is hit by a pitch. Third Pirate to be hit. Marte twice. And Sanchez here. So actually 2 people, but there's been 3 hit batsmen.
How do you determine what's intentional? What's the sense?
Oh, Hayward hit on the helmet.
I think it hit him in the face. I didn't hear any helmet. Jonathan Neese came very close to home plate to try to be near Jeff Porter, but was walked away by John Buck. Mets trainer out there as well. Let's see the replay and see if we can tell where it got him. He's conscious. It got right below the ear flap on the jaw. Right on the jaw. He's on his feet.
A hitter's worst nightmare, and I imagine a pitcher's worst nightmare too. I think it caught just a part of the helmet because you saw the helmet move, but most of it hit him flush right on the jaw. Yeah, glancing blow off the.
Yeah, but
I heard the plastic part, and then
it got him pretty flush.
Ow.
He went around, and Phillips can't believe it. He's saying that ball hit me on the arm, and Phillips can't believe it. Home plate umpire Gary Darling telling him you swung at the ball. It hit him in the right knee, but he had already swung.
I don't know. I think he was saying that I didn't swing.
He went around. That is a punch out. And the inning comes to an end. Mike Such is going to come out to argue. But home plate umpire Dan Isonia said that Ibar swung.
Yeah, if you swing, even if you get hit with the baseball, it's going to be a strikeout. Slider and the swing across the plate, even though it hit him, it's going to be a strikeout.
Oh, man!
That hit him.
It hit Infante right in the head. Head athletic trainer Nick Kennedy out there immediately. Oh, my. Omar tried to get up right away, but Nick Kennedy wanted to make sure. The Royals' second baseman Omar Infante hit in the face by a Heath Bell pitch. Now being helped from the field by Nick Kenny and Kyle Turner. Oh, that is a shame. That means Danny Valencia will come in the game defensively for the Royals when they take the field in the top of the 8th inning.
Oh, that's just a fastball. Two-seamer got away, couldn't get out in time. Oh, gosh, that's terrible.
It's like it got him on the chin.
Yeah, chin. Left side on the chin.
And we're going to show you a close look, so you may want to close your eyes on this next scene.
Oh, man, don't look.
Right on the chin. No, we hope.
Oh, you can hear him say ow up here. He is in a lot of pain. It looked like it got him on the knee.
Yeah, that's a kneecap. You hope it's a thigh or a muscle, but the kneecap, that bone, you could tell by the sound that hit a bone, and that is painful.
He is in a lot of pain. Gene Monahan right there.
It's a pitch as a hitter you really can't get out of the way of, because all your weight is on your back foot as you're striding into the baseball, and it just, you know, you get caught where you can't get out of the way quick enough, right off the kneecap.
Again, this is a cutter, and what Paul was saying, this is a pitch once the foot's down, committed. Gosh, it looks like got right on it.
Go down through those numbers and those plaques and their names, their everyday names. It's just not.
Cervelli gets plunked. Remember, the Yankees lost Brian McCann.
Yeah, they certainly did.
Last night to a mild concussion.
I'll tell you what, Cervelli has done some kind of job lately hitting too. So you don't want to see this if you're Joe Girardi.
No, Matt, you're talking. It might be a little lower than a rib, but you just never know. Remember Andrew McCutchen getting hit just the other day. Had some cartilage displaced and avulsion, or not exactly sure what the medical term was, but
whatever, it doesn't sound too
good.
good.
No.
Rough inning for the Yankees battery. McCarthy getting hit in the top half, and now Cervelli.
Every once in a while, you just are so glad to be up in the booth.
Yeah,
right?
no, that's, I mean, I know if it gets me there, that's right in a fat roll. That's the only thing I got going for me. Yeah, I don't miss that at all. Well, he looks to be moving all right. Hopefully he's okay.
Again, to get on the point, poor Stevie Donahue. I mean, he's got to cross his fingers every day when he runs out on this field. I mean, he's going to lock the room to the training room door. Guys are just dropping like flies.
2-2 the count. And he is hit by that pitch. Rhymes plucked by that 2-2 pitch, and he is in some pain. And they'll examine. You can see the mark. Look at the seams right there.
Sounded like it hit the bat.
Sure did. That's what it sounded like. It hit his arm. Will Rhymes standing at first base after being hit on the right arm by a pitch.
He's coming out. He said he was done.
Yeah. Yeah, he is having trouble standing.
He's out on his feet.
And Will Rhymes has passed out, and I'll tell you, if that happens, you begin to think there's a fracture. And now will be assisted off the field by the paramedics. And of course, you don't really know at this point about that arm, but it was a little scary for a moment there. And you know,
BA, and you've yourself suffered some injury on the field with your elbow a couple of times, but sometimes if you break a bone or fracture a bone, it can make you sick, literally make you sick.
And it almost appeared to be that's what he was telling the bench when he was standing out there bending over.